What's up, YouTube? This is JP Panther back with another video, and today's video is a fun discussion, Marvel video topic I want to talk about. So today I am gonna rank Phase One, all the Phase One movies. This is from Phase One, and I'm gonna do Part One, Part Two. So this video I'm gonna do Phase One. I'm gonna rank which one is the best out of that phase. I'm gonna rank Phase One, then I'm gonna do Phase Two, then I'll do Phase Three, and that'll be pretty much it. So I already have a list of what the Phase 1 movies are, just to make sure I get everything right. And I wrote them down to make sure that I actually get everything what I say and everything what I mean right. So we're gonna start off with the sixth movie in my ranking right now. Iron Man 2, and I'll go more in depth with it. Iron Man 2 is on the bottom of the list is because Iron Man 2, it's not a bad movie, but Iron Man 2 is just super generic. He, first Iron Man movie, he comes out, he, announces he's Iron Man. Nick Fury comes out and says, I want you to be part of Avengers and stuff like that. And then Iron Man 2 is pretty much generic. Everyone knows his identity. He's a rich white guy who has all this money and clout and stuff like that. And then he abuses it. Then you got Black Widow that comes in there and stuff like that. And then you have the main villain. I'm trying to remember the villain name. I think it was Whiplash. He comes in there, destroys Tony Stark, tries to kill him, and then him and Rhodey fight over the Iron Man suit and stuff like that, and he beats Tony and steals the Iron Man suit, and then eventually he has to beat Whiplash and all these other Iron Man, suits that he created that were going to go against him, and then Rhodey joins in and helps Tony Stark, and pretty much, and then he beats the villain, he beats Whiplash, and then he beats the, he beats the guy the other corporate guy that was behind it and stuff like that, like helping Whiplash out when he bailed him out of jail. And that's pretty much the end of Iron Man 2. It's not like a good movie in my perspective. It's pretty generic. And of course, the last post-credit scene sets up, the next Avengers and stuff like that, where it's like, okay, Nick Fury talks to Iron Man, and then you have the map. If you pay attention, you have to really pay attention to the map in Iron Man 2, where it references Atlantis and it references Wakanda, like hidden in the map when Nick Fury is talking to Tony Stark. And then also a lot of people don't realize with Iron Man 2 is that when Whiplash is in his apartment and he's doing his machines and stuff like that, they have all those newspapers in there, right? And one of the newspapers says Atlantis. So they were really much referencing Namor in there as a very, very small Easter egg since 2010. So that's just something I really want to throw out there. And of course you have the other post-credit scene and stuff like that where it sets up Thor. So that's why Iron Man 2 is the bottom of the list. Number 5 is Incredible Hulk. Incredible Hulk, I enjoy the movie for what it was. It's considered one of the worst MCU movies in the MCU, which I can see why. Again, Incredible Hulk is not a bad movie, but it's really much him getting angry and beating the crap out of, just blowing things up and beating everybody up. And of course, the villain, it's kind of hard for me to remember exactly. The villain, Abomination, the dude, he steals the Hulk serum, whatever, and becomes Abomination, and then Hulk fights, and Abomination fights in Harlem and destroys the Apollo, and they pretty much beat the crap out of each other, and that's pretty much the plot of the movie. It's like just him, it's pretty much Hulk getting Bruce Banner getting angry, trying to control his rage, beating everybody up, blowing things up, causing millions and billions of dollars in damage, and then he fights Abomination, and that's pretty much the end of the movie. And of course, the last post-credit scene sets up Tony Stark talking to the general, saying that I'm here to put a team together and stuff like that. And that's pretty much it. Again, I enjoy the fights, but I see the story is really, really bad. So that's pretty much it for that, for Incredible Hulk. That's why Incredible Hulk is on that number 5 list. Number 4 is Thor. Again, I know Thor is very mixed with a lot of people. Again, I like Thor. I like him as a character. I just like the getup of him. He has the cape, the red cape, the gladiator look. He has the electric hammer, bomb mirror and stuff like that. Again, he wears the helmet for like a couple minutes in the movie, and that's pretty much it. And it's pretty much him not being worthy of becoming Thor, and then his father is like, you keep messing up and start doing all these dumb activities and just keep messing up and getting everybody killed. So I'm going to take away the power of Thor and throw you to earth, and you can't even wield a hammer and stuff like that. And of course Loki takes over and stuff like that, and it's pretty much what Loki's pretty much the main villain, but he also sets up the main villain for Avengers. But again, it's just Loki kind of getting back at his brother because the father pretty much the father favored Thor more than him, and then he finds out that he was a child of the frost giants and stuff like that, and he really hated his father for that, and then eventually he tries to take over and dethrone Asgard and stuff like that with the frost giants, and pretty much it's a pretty, and then later on in the final fight is pretty much Thor and Loki fighting over Sybil rivalry, and of course Loki, he doesn't die, but he falls to the bottom of space, of Asgard and stuff like that. And that's pretty much about it. Thor is okay. I enjoy it. I enjoy Thor. I don't know. Thor is okay. It's not bad. It's just not the greatest movie ever. And of course, they have all the little BS little here and there where it's like, oh, he meets Jane Foster and stuff like that. But overall, that's why Thor is on my fourth list. And then number 3 is Captain America: First Avenger. Again, I still think Winter Soldier is way better than Captain America. The First Avenger, in my personal. Captain America: The First Avenger. It's really good. I like it for what it is. Again, this is all a slow building process. But again, Phase 1 was very, very slow. Captain America: First Avenger, I like it. I enjoyed it. It was very, very slow. It's pretty much his origin story, how he pretty much he pretty much was a quote-unquote loser and stuff like that. I mean, he was pretty much the rotten to the litter. He never really fit anywhere. Then he joins the military, and then eventually they experiment on him, and he has a super serum, and then he becomes Captain America and fights for the country and stuff like that. Then he fights Hydra, then the Nazis and stuff like that, and then eventually, he beats Red Skull. Technically, Red Skull beats himself because of the Tesseract and stuff like that. And it's just a particular Captain America origin story. And then of course he saves pretty much New York and America, stuff like that, by sacrificing himself and taking the plane with him. And then he gets frozen for 80 years. Then he comes back, and it pretty much sets up the Avengers. And he comes out like 80 years later being like, what's going on, what's this, what's happening. And then Nick Fury comes out and tells him that you've been asleep for 80 years. No, not for 80. I think it was like for 70 years. I think it was like 70 or 80 years. He's been asleep for a very, very long time. And then he's trying to get himself back to the world and stuff like that. And that's pretty much the post-credit scene. And that's pretty much it. I mean, Captain America: First Avenger, it's okay. It's enjoyable, but again, I still think Winter Soldier and Civil War is way better than Captain America: First Avenger. And then number 2 is Iron Man. I loved Iron Man, the first one. The problem is I've seen it too many times. Iron Man, you had this rich white guy from New York who pretty much has everything, and then his whole company is about selling machines and thrones and weaponry to terrorists, and pretty much selling it to the military. And then later on he finds out that the terrorist starts using his own weapons against him, and then he gets caught by terrorists, gets trapped in a cave and stuff like that, and then eventually builds the Iron Man suit, and then he realizes that what he did is wrong, so he becomes the Iron Man, and then he destroys his destroys his weapons around the planet pretty much. And then the villain, which I guess is his like worker. I forget exactly the dude's name. The Ironmonger. He becomes the Ironmonger, and then Iron Man and Ironmonger fight. And it's pretty much a weak, generic fight. Most of the villains in Iron Man are pretty bad. And pretty much and then he beats him generically, blah, blah, blah. And of course he comes out and says, oh, well, I reviewed that he pretty much comes out and says, I am Iron Man, and everyone's all freaked out and stuff like that. And then the last post-credit scene pretty much has Samuel Jackson in Tony Stark's house saying that, I'm here to start the Avenger initiative, stuff like that, which means it's to start up the Avengers pretty much. Gather these 6, not superpower, but like these superheroes come together to fight a bigger threat. And that's pretty much the end of Iron Man, the first one. And again, Iron Man 2, I enjoyed it. I really, really liked it. The problem is I've seen it too many times. So that's why it's on my number 2. And my number one, y'all already know what it is going to be the First Avengers. The First Avengers, I loved it because you gather all these heroes together to fight a bigger threat, which was Loki. And I like the First Avengers because, at times in the First Avengers, they didn't all agree with each other. Thor and Cap and Iron Man, they're going at it back and forth. Hawkeye wasn't down. Bruce Banner, he's still trying to control the whole power, and he starts going on a rampage. Black Widow, she's trying to get everyone together, but it's just not working. It's kind of that back and forth confrontation over and over and over. Then eventually Loki gets the Tesseract. Then Thanos actually gives him his own army and his own ships and his own weapons and army and military weapons and stuff like that. And his whole purpose was pretty much to use it to destroy New York and to pretty much cause chaos and destruction without Thanos really being there. So he just got to chill, relax, and he's Thanos pretty much. And later on he's like, I gave you everything you need to start a war, and you completely effed it up. And of course the 6 Avengers come together and they save New York, and they beat Loki, they beat him, they lock him up, stuff like that. And then of course Iron Man, in the Avengers movie, the U.S. Army sends like a nuke, and then Iron Man grabs the nuke because he was they're gonna send the nuke to New York City, and he grabs the nuke, sends it to the portal, destroys Thanos' army and the other aliens and stuff like that, and pretty much comes out alive and stuff like that. And pretty much the Avengers come together, they save New York, they save the world, they beat Loki, and Thor takes Loki to Asgard, which sets up Thor 2, Thor the Dark World. And the Avengers are going their separate ways, and then the way it sets up for the Avengers is that it sets them up where it's like, this isn't the end, pretty much. This feels like it's a brand new beginning and stuff like that. And that's why I like the First Avengers. Really, really good. It felt like the 7 Samurai, where like all these 7 or less, a bunch of people come together to fight something bigger and to save a village or something bigger than themselves. And that's pretty much it with the First Avengers. I really enjoyed it. I still think the Avengers is a 10 out of 10 in my perspective because it's just so amazing. And then the last post-credit scene sets up Thanos. And it was everyone at the time. This is like 2012. Everyone, all the nerds like us, we were all freaking out, wilding out. They're like, oh my God, they're going to do Thanos. They're going to do, Marvel and Disney is going to do their answer to Warner Brothers DC's Darkseid. So they already established him in 2012. So when you see him in the Avengers Infinity War, you're not like shocked and freak out. Where, DC and Warner Brothers, they just wanted to do Thor and Darkseid, and that was another story, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But pretty much, the First Avengers, I really liked it, and I liked how they set up Thanos to be the next big bad guy after Loki. So that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And, of course, that starts the official Infinity Saga arc. Or arc, pretty much. So let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with my ranking list? Do you guys disagree with it? Do you guys think I was right? Do you guys think I was wrong? Let me know in the comment section below. Rate and like the video and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Peace and have a great day. Take care.